the scene at one of the final dinners with George Sanders, you know, in the show.
I thought that was Otto Preminger. Or is that George Sanders being Otto
Well,
Preminger?
there's another story there, Julie, but
There were three Mr. Freeze, you know.
but when George Sanders looked down the table, because we were sitting in the green, or he was in the greenish cold part, and we were in a little warmer part, he said to us, he said, "Beg to Alaska, Batman."
Of course, the great Eli Wallach, also Mr. Freeze in the show, who just passed recently. I think it's time to open up the questions to the audience. I'm sure these people have a lot of things they want to ask you guys. They've been waiting a long time to talk about this day. So let's open it up to the audience. Hi there. What's your question?
Hi. First of all, can I just say, Adam West, your voice is magical.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'd like to sing something.
Yeah.
Cold, Harlan.
Okay. So this is for you, Adam West and for Ward. If you could go back and play any character you wanted, would you switch or stay who you are? And if you would switch, who would you pick and why?
Is there anyone on the show, any character on the show that you would have liked to have played if you could go back in time?
Well, I wanted to be Robin.
A little tall for Robin.
No, I love playing the part. And I think, honestly, in my opinion, there's been many Batmans, but in my opinion, there really only is one Batman.
Yeah.
And that's
You know, our show was a comedy for the adults, and we played it with comedy timing and thinking funny, and yet for the kids it was very serious. So we played that level as well. Now our show was somewhat bizarre, but it was never grotesque. There's somebody else out there.
Hi there, what's your question?
Hello. I just wanted to say, that's not. Thank you so much for the years of entertainment. I grew up watching this show, and I realized that the reason I leaned into this world so much is that you were the world that took over as my parents' marriage program. So thank you for that. And I would like to ask, is there some sort of secrets that you would like us to know now that we could know in the 60s about the show?
Secrets? Any secrets about the show that you can finally reveal now that we've got it on home entertainment?
Secrets? I don't know if I should. What do you think?
too many.
Well, it's about Bert. No.
You guys must have people coming up all the time over the past 4 decades telling you how much of an influence that you had on their lives, either personally or professionally or both. I'm sure you all have had those moments, right?
Well, we're the luckiest actors in the world. That's the way I reason it, and I'm sure they do too. Because we've done many other movies. I've done 5 TV series, and Family Guy's been wonderful for me. But Batman was the most expensive show ever produced at the time, and it was done with such delicacy and care that I'm just really pleased to have been part of it in my own small way. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Adam, you've told me in the past that you run into judges and attorneys and cops and firefighters who say that they got into law enforcement. They wanted to be the good guys because of what you and Bert showed them each and every week.
Well, I have a little token of esteem from your police chief that I got this evening, presented by her.
Was that a get out of jail free card?
He knows what goes on in my life. But, you know, to hear stories like that we do what we do because of Batman is incredible.
Yeah.
Hi there. What's your question?
Well, I will tell you that the biggest scare of my parents' life was because of Batman. I was 6 years old when the show originally aired, and since it was in color, and my neighbors had one of those new color televisions. I just walked outside and went down the block at 6 years old to watch it in color.
Yeah.
My question is, with all of the reboots in this era of reboots, why have none of you made a cameo appearance in any of the movies?
Yeah.
Well, in my case, I haven't been asked. But it's okay. It's okay. I'm a billionaire, and it's okay.
We've seen Stately West Manor. It's very impressive. Hi there. What's your question?
Hey, whoa, hey. I'm a little nervous here. My dad does says hi to you guys. He's a big fan, and I'm a big fan too. Before my question, I do have to say this one thing. I played the Batman Arkham games, and last year's Batman Arkham Origins comes with all these costumes you can wear, and you can play like Batman's first appearance to the recent costume, but nothing brings me great joy than being Adam West Batman, roaming the streets, taking down thugs. My dad walked in me playing that game, and he goes, is that the Adam West Batman? I'm like, yep, I'm fighting crime. That's Adam West. So, the one question I had for all three of you, if Batman would have continued from three of you, what episode would you like to see done? Any ideas you would have done? Especially crossover, since you did have Green Hornet and Kato as the first superhero team up.
Yeah.
There's a great comic book out, by the way, which teams up Batman and the Green Hornet and Kato again. I suggest you pick it up.
I like the first episode.
Yeah, that sort of set the tone for everything, didn't it?
Yeah.
I think if
Setting
we
the
had
tone.
continued to make the show, we would have developed newer, more modern things. You know, when Batman first came out, our show was ahead of its time. I mean, it really was. And, you know, because we stopped making them, they're classics, but had we continued, I think we would have found innovative ways to continue to entertain you, and bigger and, you know, more dangerous villains and situations more like what we have in today's program, but still family oriented.
Adam, wasn't there talk at one time of another network picking up the series and doing a fourth season?
That's right, but they had already destroyed the Batcave and some of the other standing sets.
It's because you took all the parts, Adam, so you can sell them later.
You want to buy a cave? Yeah, they figured it would be too costly. Batman was the most expensive show ever shot at the time. And, you know, the first show on twice a week in color. So there you go. You know, it was unique.
And the studio can make just as much money when it goes into syndication.
Yeah.
Yeah.
120 episodes, they want their money back.
Hi there, what's your question?
Well, first off, it's a real honor to meet you all, and since you brought it up, how much is the cape? One thing I remember about Batman is he always had something handy on his belt, like for instance, he had the shark repellent when he got attacked by a shark. I was just curious if there was any other utility or gadget on his belt that was thought of to maybe be used in an episode, but just never made it.
That's a good question. I can't answer that.
Thank you.
I always enjoyed when you pulled the massive, enormous, lucite bat shield out of some little pocket in your belt. I think that was always my favorite moment with the utility belt.
Well, that was kind of my favorite prop, too. The fact that, you know, we timed it so that it looked like this big thing was pulling it out of the utility belt. It's going to save us. You know, there's only one cliffhanger, now that we bring that up, that was different on the show. Does anyone know what that was? Only one. The other cliffhangers we got out of with some clever ruse or whatever the writers cooked up. But this one cliffhanger was when we were swallowed by the giant clam.
Oh.
They couldn't think of a way to get us out. So they finally resorted to the fact that Batman was so strong, he opened the clam and we got out.
I just remember poor Bert's foot dangling out of that clam, bouncing around.
Yes. I still love clam chowder.
Hi, what's your question?
Hi, question for Adam West in particular. You created a Batman in this comedy show who was duly deputized, who wouldn't chase after a villain until Robin put his seatbelt on. What's it been like watching Batman in the newer versions where you get more of a vigilante or you get more of this grittier reality? What's the sort of the difference between how you created the character versus the newer versions?
I have no idea because they're doing their thing and we did ours. It's that simple.
Yeah.
And you did it very well. Hi, what's your question?
Oh, hey. Hi. So it's really exciting to meet you. The first bonding experience I ever had with my dad was watching this, so you've been in our house forever. And I've read your autobiography, Into the Batcave, and I loved your comment in the first episode where you ad-libbed "What a way to go," and the go-go dancer fell down into her doom. And I was wondering, is there any other lines you remember ad-libbing and going, no, this is what Batman needs to say?
Well, there were some others, yes. I don't know if I'm free to talk about it. Don't touch that golden pussy, Robin. It could be radioactive. A little more racy. But we got by with it.
There were some pretty good holies. Remember some of the holies?
Yeah. How many holies did you do total, Bert? Do you remember?
I think there was about 370.
Well, I'm sorry, but we're out of time for questions because we have a big clip we want to show you. We want to close the show out with a big hunk of footage so you can see this amazing remastered footage for the Batman the Complete Television Series box set. So let's take a look and then we'll come back and say goodbye.